Hey, what's up guys? Preston or Citizen Response. I got a special video for you guys today. I got my buddy Trevor. He also runs the 43X, but his is set up a lot differently than mine. So he's gonna walk you through that, walk you through all the different parts and modifications that he's done to his, explain all the reasons why he's put those different things on. So sit back, hope you enjoy the video.
Hey guys, my name's Trevor. I'm Preston's buddy. I've been carrying this 43X here for about a year and a half. Owned it for about 2. Like it a lot, and I'm just gonna go over what I have on it and why I carry it with it this way. So to begin, starting at the bottom, there's no mag in here. Gun's clear for everybody who's gonna get pissed. So no magazine, but I do carry with OEM mags because the Shield Arms mags don't work. They're great range tools, but they're not good for carry. Next, I got the Element 26 grip tape. Preston has video up on that if you have any questions. It's really good, gives you a little bit more purchase. I have big hands, so it makes the grip a little bit bigger for me compared to the normal kind of small single stack grip. Trigger, I got a McNally trigger. It's an OEM trigger with a different trigger shoe, and it's just polished. That's why I carry it, because it's OEM. It pulls way nicer, and the trigger shoe is a lot better than the stock Glock trigger shoe. Streamlight TLR7 Sub. I carry this versus the Surefire XCS because this has a higher lumen output. It uses a CR123A instead of their weird proprietary rechargeable battery. I like this a lot better. It does add a little bit of length to the 43X, but that's not a problem for me. I like having lights on my carry guns. Going up the slide, I had it cut by JagerWorks. This is actually a non-MOS slide. I recommend that for the RMRCC, getting an OEM, not MOS slide cut, because it will sit lower. With the plate on the MOS version, the RMRCC actually sits a lot higher. So if you have the MOS, I'd recommend using a 407K. But apart from that, I have the RMRCC. This is a great sight. I like it a lot. I don't mind taking it off to change the battery. It's extremely rugged. I've beat the crap out of it and it still works. And then up front with my irons, I have night vision irons. I went to a gunsmith because I was having a hard time finding ones that co-witnessed where I want them to. So these sit right at a nice lower 1/3 co-witness through my sight. And I had the rear dovetail cut in front of my optic. I just like I like having it there just because I feel I focus more on the sight as the primary optic rather than having to sort through the data of having my rear sight in front of my optic. I like it like that, and if I'm manipulating the slide via my optic, there's something in front of it that's catching before it's hitting the optic window. Other than that, I have a CagWorks slide release. I have really big hands, so when I grip the gun, I get high up, and I have a tendency to actuate the slide stop. When I do that, this CagWorks slide release just puts it up and out of the way, and it's extended too, so it's really easy to hit for me when I'm doing that. Other than that, I have somewhere north of 5,000 rounds through this gun. I shoot a lot. I worked at a gun range, so I got to get out with this gun a lot. I haven't had to replace anything except for the extractor, so that crapped out on me, but that's normal parts wear. This gun's been great. It's a perfect size. I don't feel like I'm outgunned in any situation. And if you need more ammo than 10, just carry an extra magazine.
Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something. As you guys know, I kind of like to talk about philosophy, faith, religion at the end of each of my videos because I think that's like the underpinning of why we do all the things we do. And if you really ask questions about yourself, it'll define motives as to why you do certain things. So the topic that we're going to talk about today is contentment and suffering. One thing that I've had some friends that have gone through some really tough medical issues, and actually yesterday at church they gave a sermon about Joseph and the story of his contentment and trusting God in suffering, guys. We're going to be in situations, we're going to be in times in our lives, I'm sure all of you guys have, where you're not sure why you're experiencing what you're experiencing. Is there any reason for why you're having to endure what you're having to endure? Guys, the reality of the situation is we live in a broken world that is plagued by sin, and so that what causes a lot of those things. But on the other side of that, if you look at the entire story of Joseph, sold into slavery by his brothers, spent an uncountable amount of years in prison, and for him, for ultimately seemingly no reason, but at the end of it, he gets to serve in Pharaoh's palace, gets to represent God well, and feeds thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people, don't starve to death because of his faithfulness. So I don't know what your story is going to look like. I don't know what the end of your suffering is going to look like, guys. But at the end, Joseph says something that stands out to me, and I remind myself often. He says, what you have meant for evil, God has used for good. So that's what our takeaway is this week, guys. Something that may be evil in your life, that may be troubling, God may be able to turn it and use it for good. Guys, as always, get out there, train hard, stay safe.